So hi from sunny northern New South Wales. I'm David. This is Jesse, my constant companion. Now let's talk about our idiotic Prime Minister. What's he doing? Why is he sticking his nose into Middle Eastern politics? What has that got to do with Australia? Anyone out there has an answer? Put it down in the comments for me. I'd love to hear it. Just in relation to all this, you've got to wonder where it's coming from. And what does Australia stand to gain by sabotaging the relationship between the Americans and us? Well, nothing. We stand to lose a lot and gain nothing. All it does is drive us closer to China. And which side of the conflict does the Chinese government support in the Middle East? Who are they backing? I believe it's Iran, Syria. I think they have a heavy involvement in Turkey and the countries surrounding that area, the old Russian Federation states. You got to wonder where is he aligning our country? I mean, everyone in Australia thinks that we're going to be on the side of the Americans if something should happen. Let's say China invades Taiwan and we're supposed to be on the American side. Are we going to end up being on the Chinese side? I mean, what's going on in Canberra? And Penny Wong, who does she serve? It's almost like she's on the CCP payroll. Things that come out of her mouth. I just don't understand these people. And then they're going around crowing like they've got a mandate when they got 34% of the primary vote to 32%, which somehow translated to 94 seats to 43. I don't know how that math works out. And you see, that's the problem with preference voting. Another thing we need to get rid of. Because you end up with an unrepresentative government like we have now. The government we have now does not represent the will of the people. The will of the people said basically 1/3 Liberal, 1/3 Labor, and 1/3 the rest. That was the actual voting pattern of the election. And yet we ended up with basically a Labor supermajority, and they also control nearly all the state legislatures as well. So, it's very concerning. But the obvious deliberate sabotage of the United States-Australia relationship is particularly egregious, and in my eyes it's treasonous. It's working directly against the interests of Australia, while in an official capacity is sort of like the definition of treason in a way. I know it's not the exact definition, but it certainly fits the criteria. Let's just put it that way. When Donald Trump won the election in November, and Albanese had an election coming up, but he was still the Prime Minister of Australia, right? And under Joe Biden, Kevin Rudd was the United States ambassador. You can understand that. But you also got to understand that Kevin Rudd said some very derogatory things about Trump personally. And leaving him as the ambassador made that relationship instantly unworkable, because Trump is a people person. He's a businessman. He likes to fucking know people face to face that he deals with. It's what makes him different to a lot of other politicians, because he is a businessman. And trust and loyalty go a long way with him. And he's being shown, well, Albanese and his government basically gave Trump the big middle finger by leaving Kevin Rudd there after he got elected. And he's still there today. And he still can't get a meeting with Trump. Oh, geez, I wonder why. Maybe you shouldn't have called him a village idiot and the greatest threat to democracy the world's ever seen. Among other things you called him. What do you reckon, Jess? Have I covered it all yet? No, I've still got a bit to go. Let's just talk about the fact that Donald Trump is going around the world currently telling people you can't be attacking free speech. You have to share our values if you want to trade with the United States, which they have every right to do. And we have to remember nearly all of these platforms that we're talking about, that these new laws are going to affect, they're all American, except TikTok. But they're trying to get someone to buy TikTok America, so it will become a separate part. It will become separate from TikTok, which is run from China. But all the rest are American. Name one European platform that anyone knows anything about. You can't do it. Name one Australian one. I can name one, but no one knows about it. It's called Matilda, by the way. So all these laws that are going to be forced upon these American-based companies, well, they're going to have issues for Americans, especially when they're travelling abroad. Okay? This is where it's going to be a problem. Now, Albanese knows this. He can't be that stupid. He just can't be that stupid. And I know he's not that stupid because he's been avoiding Trump like the plague. He's made no effort whatsoever to go break bread with the man that he insulted as well. But he's got no problem licking the boots of Xi Jinping. That doesn't sit well with a lot of Australians. That he's a bit too cosy with the Chinese while treating the Americans like crap. When if any shit hit the fan, who do we call? We don't call fucking Xi Jinping. He'd laugh at us and try and invade us too. We call the Americans. We don't call the British anymore because they're too far away. And they're irrelevant these days. They can control a little bit of the Atlantic, but they've got no influence around here. Now, the fact that Albanese and his government, number one, didn't even know anything about the fact that the Chinese Navy wanted to go for a circumnavigation of Australia and conduct live fire exercises, says a lot about what the Chinese think of Australia's leaders. Because they didn't even give them a heads up, and they actually had to find out because I think it was a Virgin pilot was warned to alter course because there was a live fire exercise, and that's how the government found out that the Chinese were doing that. it caused a bit of chaos with flight pass, I believe. That's the nature of the relationship we actually have with China. They think nothing of us. They think less than nothing of us. Matter of fact, they'd like to replace us in this country. They see it as 7.7 million square kilometres of prime real estate that they can take for themselves. Be warned. They haven't been exactly secretive about what their ambitions are when it comes to this region. So we currently have a government actively trying to destroy the relationship we have with America, cozying up to the CCP, supporting terrorist organisations over legitimate governments. That one's a bit galling. But anyway, it's a very emotive issue and I won't comment on it. If you want to add anything, just drop it down there. And, you know, if I get any traction with this, I might make a few more of these and talk about any comments that are pinned down below. If you want to attack me, go for your life. I don't give a shit. Could not give a fuck. I don't get offended. I like to talk. I have opinions, but I don't just say things for the sake of saying them. I can back up nearly everything I say. And I don't make outlandish claims that can't be backed up. So where's this country going? That's a good question. There are a lot of theories about that. I have my own views, which I won't discuss on here. Let's just say I'm not concerned, despite the trajectory we're heading. This online safety crap, basically trying to backdoor the social control system they have in China. I'm not overly concerned about that because that will not be allowed to stand. Great pressure will be brought to bear upon this country. And the United States has never actually sanctioned Australia. You know, and they have the clout to make other countries follow suit and honour the sanctions. So, you know, just be careful what you wish for. It could be devastating to this country if they do not play ball. They've got to understand what their place is. They can be a friend or they can be a foe. And if they're going to be a foe, well, unfortunately we're going to pay the price. It's always the people that pay the price. But if it fosters a change in this country for the better, people might be prepared to pay that price, just once. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm reaching 15 minutes and I wanted to keep this under that, so yeah, if you have any thoughts or comments, just drop them below and we'll see how this goes. This is a one-off, but if I get enough interest, I'll do a follow-up and I'll address the comments on this one. Anyway, have fun from me and Jesse here. Peace out and have a good day.